Hello, I'm Command Sergeant Major Corey Towns, and today we'll be discussing in detail how to conduct a promotion board. The primary topics being presented today are the promotion board's mission, frequency, developing the Memorandum of Instruction, developing scenario-based questions, conducting the promotion board, and finally, board assessments and proceedings. References for today's trainings are as follows. Army Regulations 600-8-19, Enlisted Promotions and Reduction, dated 16 May 2019. An ALAREC Message 074-2020, the Sergeant and Staff Sergeant Promotion Board Guidance. Without further ado, let's get to today's training. The promotion board's mission is to validate the potential of soldiers to assume increased responsibilities and to make a recommendation of yes or no to the promotion board's authority for each soldier considered. As for the frequency, promotion boards should be held between the 20th calendar day of the month, preceding the board month, and the 4th calendar date of each board month. Boards will convene on a monthly basis, except in those instances where no soldiers are identified for promotion. When the operation environment dictates, the promotion authority may seek authorization to rely solely on the recommendation of the battalion command sergeant major, who can make validated recommendations based on a one-on-one interaction with the recommended soldier. The intent of this exception is to mitigate excessive risk on the battlefield and to ensure soldiers are not placed in harm's way solely to satisfy an administrative requirement. All promotion boards not held in accordance with the aforementioned are not valid. Now that we've had the opportunity to talk about the mission and frequency of the promotion board, we will now take a brief moment to discuss developing the Memorandum of Instruction. The Memorandum of Instruction is essentially the blueprint soldiers use to prepare for the promotion board. Now, although there isn't a specific standard for the Memorandum of Instruction, some of the most common topics usually include the date of the board, time, location, uniform, board topics, references, and the listed board members. It can also include unit, staff, and sponsor, and individual soldier responsibilities. A good practice is having this information available to soldiers 30 days before the promotion board. We will now transition to Sergeant Major Goins, who will be discussing the guidelines for selecting board members.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Major Christopher Goins. When selecting board members, there are a few guidelines that you must follow. A promotion board is comprised of a president and a minimum of 3 voting members. A president will be a command sergeant major or a sergeant major. First sergeants, master sergeants, and any other junior ranking NCOs will not preside over a board. There are no exceptions. All voting members will be senior in rank to those appearing before the board. The board president may serve as a voting member in the event of a tie. The board recorder does not get a vote. Board panel must have diversity. This means multiple races and genders. And if this is not possible, the promotion authority will include a memorandum of record as to why it wasn't possible during the board record. Board members may include members from other services, but the rank must be equivalent to those voting members of the board. Once the board is initiated, all members of the board must stay to the end. There are no substitutions allowed. All voting members must be familiar with the current Army regulations, directives, and guidance from the Army. All the information needed for selecting board members can be found in Army Regulations 600-8-19, Chapter 3, Section 12. Now that we've discussed the guidelines for selecting board members, we will now take a few moments to discuss how to develop situational questions as outlined in the ALAREC Message 074-2020. When developing questions for the promotion board, the board president is responsible for a multitude of tasks. They must state the acceptable amount of questions per topic. Quality check to ensure questions are in accordance with the latest regulation, Army doctrine publications, and the military personnel messages. Beside the president's responsibility, keep in mind there are questions in which a soldier will be graded and should be geared towards their next rank. With publication of ALARAC 074-2020, there are a few changes that need to be instilled in all the following boards. These changes include, prior to any evaluation of any recommended soldier, the board president will review the unit comparison chart, previously known as the bullseye chart, now known as the Commander's Risk Reduction Toolkit, with board members. The purpose of this is to review and ensure soldiers are aware of, trained, and prepared to prevent, reduce, and manage high-risk soldier behavior. All promotion candidates in the supervisory role will be asked to discuss with the board the soldiers they supervise. The purpose of this is to reinforce the initiative of the United States Army. This is my squad. Take a look at the following presentation.
Specialist Ye, I'll be asking you a situational-based question off of sexual harassment. It is motor pool maintenance, and you are walking through the motor pool. You come across a vehicle and see a male soldier standing outside, keeping a female soldier trapped inside the vehicle. As you walk up, the female soldier has a facial expression that looks stressed, and the male soldier walks away laughing, saying, "Ha ha, they were just joking." As a leader, how do you handle that situation?
Specialist Yi, I will be asking you a situational question pertaining to retention. If your soldier is 8 kilo barred to continued service, what does that imply, and how do you assist the soldier to overcome that bar?
Specialist Ye, I will be asking you a situational-based question on misuse of drug and alcohol. You're doing barracks checks on one of your soldiers. As you enter the soldier's room, on the counter, you see multiple prescription drugs that aren't prescribed to your soldier. How would you handle that situation?
Specialist Ye, I'll be asking you another situational-based question off of suicide prevention. A spouse of one of your soldiers comes to see you to explain they're having marital issues and problems at home. She describes some behavior to you and describes the behavior as he has been playing more frequently with his firearms, and she sometimes overhears him crying in the bathroom. The next day, you look for your soldier to find him, to have a conversation with him. How do you handle this situation?
Specialist Yi, I will be asking you a question pertaining to mental fitness. You become suspicious because your soldier routinely asks to wear full winter APFUs during physical training. Later, you see fresh cuts on his arm and leg, and you assume that they are self-induced. What course of action do you take to identify the problem and possibly fix it?
Specialist Ye, you are a sergeant. One of your soldiers has continuously displayed substandard performance during physical readiness training. How would you individually help that soldier meet the standard and maintain a high level of physical fitness?
Now that the soldier has appeared before the promotion board, it is now time to bring the soldier in and give them the recommendation of either yes or no and solicit feedback on their performance.
At the conclusion of the board and dismissal of the attendee, board members must give feedback to the sponsor. This is important because the sponsor may have taken notes on questions missed or do-outs, whereas the board will have a different perspective on the soldier's appearance, bearing, confidence, or answers. After the board members vote if the soldier is promotable or if they need to make another appearance before being recommended. At this time, the board president will instruct the board recorder to gather the scores, and the sponsor and the board attendee are brought back in and given their results. After the soldier and sponsor exit, The President will conduct an AAR to assess how they felt the board was executed and how it can be approved. This will now be demonstrated in the following scene.
All right, team, great feedback to Sergeant Mosier on his board performance. So our voting members this board are First Sergeant Bowens, First Sergeant Manuel, and First Sergeant Grubb. How did you vote, First Sergeant Bowens?
Sergeant Major, I voted yes.
Okay. First Sergeant Manuel?
Sergeant Major, I voted yes.
And First Sergeant Grubb?
Sergeant Major, I voted yes.
Awesome. So that is a consensus, 3 people. So he's going to be recommended for promotion. Specialist Ramirez, if you could come and collect the score sheets for the board file.
Roger, Sergeant Major.
All right, stand to these, Specialist G. So we gave Sergeant Mosier some feedback on your performance, and overall you did a great job, and the board unanimously recommended you for promotion. You came in here and you did great, and we really appreciate your efforts. So congratulations on behalf of myself and members of the board. Okay, team, that completes the promotion board for this month. Now it's time to conduct an AAR so that we can improve on this for the next time. And our recorder, PFC Ramirez, will mark down the AR comments. So first, we were supposed to, the purpose of this board was to recommend soldiers for promotion, and we actually did recommend some soldiers for promotion. So what are some areas that we can sustain for the next time, Sergeant First Class Serrano?
Sergeant Major, I think the use of the advantage tool really assisted with the situational questions and using the trends that happen within our unit.
Perfect. First Sergeant Manuel?
Sergeant Major, I think the situational questions were very good. It gives the soldier something to think about versus doing the regular board that we did in the past, asking board questions, Sergeant Major.
Okay, perfect. And improvements for Sergeant Bones?
Sergeant Major, for improvements, we have the waiting area for the soldiers and the dismissal area in 2 separate locations.
Roger, that is a good point. Thank you. And so we'll capture these AR comments and we'll implement the changes as necessary for the next board. And thank you all for coming here and participating today.
To recap what we've accomplished and discussed today, we've talked about in detail the promotion board's mission, the frequency, developing the Memorandum of Instruction, selecting board members, developing situational questions, and finally, the board assessments and proceedings. All these topics together is how to conduct a promotion board using the guidance given in Army regulations. Again, I'm Command Sergeant Major Corey Towns. I hope this training has been helpful to you.